Dear students, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is Arafat from FEI Higher Secondary Institute. Today I am with chapter number 3. Chapter is Diversity in Living Organisms. It is ninth biology, and today my topic is about the pteridophytes. Pteridophyta. This pteridophyta include a division third in the five division classification of किंगडम प्लांटेड। तो आज हमारा टॉपिक यही होगा। इट इंक्लूड टेरिडो टेरिडो जो है फाइटा, इट इज द division third as per the classification of kingdom Plantia is concerned. Pterido means they bear the vessels. They have vessels plus phyta. Here refers phyta plants. That means these are those plants which have vessels. Yes, by the name represents as pteridophyte. That means these are those plants which have vascular bundles, which have conducting tissues that I collectively we name them as xylem and phloem. These xylem and phloem or conducting vessels are the vascular tissues found in this first is seen in the pteridophyta. Today about this pteridophyta we study the various characteristics. What are the characteristics feature of this division third pteridophyta? That means first one is these are most primitive बहुत पुराने हैं, most primitive vascular plants. ये क्या है, हमने देखा है ये ज्यादा मतलब क्या है, they are the first primitive vascular plant. That means they are primitive मतलब other vascular plants arise by pteridophyta. That means most primitive and vascular plant. That means in them they have the vessels, that means conducting vessel, xylem and phloem. Number second, as per the we considered about the characteristics of pteridophyta, these are found in moist damp soil. ये तो कहाँ पाए जाते हैं ये moist damp soil. That means they have partially aquatic mode of life as per the aquatic mode of life. That means partially they have aquatic mode of life, and sometimes they are found in the terrestrial land areas. That means they are found in moist damp soil and on the terrestrial areas. They are also found in the terrestrial areas and these pteridophytes. Now, common example we can include in the pteridophytes. Common examples are ferns, ferns. They include the ferns. मतलब ferns जो होते हैं, ferns, they are of various varieties. Or the ferns include in the pteridophytes. That means these ferns as per they are the primitive plants, primitive vascular plants. At the fourth one is they don't produce seed. They are photosynthetic in nature. Chlorophyll present in their leaves. They look like they are the plant like features they have, and they don't produce seeds. They don't produce seeds. इनमें seeds नहीं बनते हैं. That means they don't produce seeds. They are non-flowering. That is non-flowering plants. Non-flowering plants है ये. These are non-flowering plants. Fifth one is reproduction, mode of reproduction. Reproduction, they reproduction by means of asexually and sexually. That means they can reproduce asexually and sexually. How they reproduce asexually? वो कैसे asexually reproduce करते हैं these pteridophytes? By the spore formation. By the spore formation. You say that the spore formation, they have the sporophyta. In the sporophyta there are the I can say in the sporophyta they have the leaves. They have leaves at the dorsal side. अगर हम उस leaves में dorsal side देखेंगे, पीछे side से dorsal side of the leaves देखेंगे, dorsal side पीछे वाला इसका portion देखेंगे, leaf का portion देखेंगे पीछे. They have the presence of the small swallows that are known as sure. It is the plural term of sure, and those sure contain sporangia. Those sporangia give the formation of spores. But that means with the help of spores they reproduce asexually. क्या होता है? I once again tell you that they reproduce asexually by spore formation. They have a sporophyte, development of sporophyte. Sporophyte is the organ in the pteridophytes, and जो उसका लीफ पार्ट होता है, स्पोरोफाइट का लीफ पार्ट होता है, उसके लीफ का जो डॉर्सल साइड होता है, that means if it is the ventral side of my hand and it is the dorsal side of my hand, dorsal लीफ के dorsal side में छोटे छोटे दाने होते हैं, छोटे छोटे swallowing sacs होते हैं, उनको हम कहते हैं सूरे, and singular name is the sorus. Sorus is the singular name. Plural name इसका ये है. Plural name is sore, and the sore has the sporangia. Sporangia is the part where the spore formation, development, maturation takes place. When there is spore formation and they are mature, then they burst out, they separate and they fall in the moist area, moist soil, then they regenerate again in a new individual. This is the asexual mode of reproduction seen in the pteridophytes. They also reproduce by B part. They also reproduce by sexually. Bisexually, they have the separate. They have the separate. They have separate sex organs, and one is the male sex organ. Known as the antheridium. नाम याद रखिए, antheridium नाम पड़ता है. And second, they have a female sex. को इसमें presence of sex organs होते हैं इस प्लांट में. जिस तरह हम एंजियोस्पर्म में फ्लावर देखते हैं, they have the anther male part and has the carpel female part. इसी तरह से इनमें देखा जाता है pteridophytes में they reproduce sexually reproduce करने के लिए they have organs, separate sex organs, male sex organ known as the antheridium, and have the female sex organ known as the antherogium, or orchinogonium, orchinogonium. There is known as the orchinogonium. Orchinogonium जो है, this is the female sex organ that produces what is the function of orchinogonium that is present as in the orchinogonium gives the formation of the female egg. And what is the formation of the antheridium? It gives the formation of the motile spore, spore जिसको हम कहते हैं that act as a sperm. And as we know, these pteridophytes have the aquatic mode of life, the aquatic mode of semi-aquatic mode of life, they have semi-aquatic mode of life. Therefore, they are sometimes known as the amphibians. That's like as the amphibians survive on the dry lands, also in the water bodies. Also, in the same way, a lot of various species of the pteridophytes survive in the water, inside the water bodies. When the ditches, ponds, lakes dry up, settle, they grow, they develop, they survive. The aquatic mode of life, the motile spore act as sperm formation take place in the male sex organ antheridium, and they reaches to the egg. The eggs are formed in the orchinogonium. As the name is there, orchinogonium में बनता है एग्स. वहाँ पे इसकी क्या होती है बेटा, there is a fertilization. You know there is a fertilization. When there is a fertilization, yes, what there is in a sexual mode of life, then there is a zygote formation, then there is a formation of embryo, then embryo develops into a spore. Then when that spore, वहाँ पे क्या बनता है, शाबाश, this embryo develops into a spore. That spore when fall into the moist soil, जब ये moist soil पे गिरता है, ये एक न्यू इंडिविजुअल में सर्वाइवल, इसमें एक न्यू इंडिविजुअल बनता है. But therefore, dear students, they also reproduce the sexually. There is a fertilization, and when the egg is fertilized, there is a zygote formation, then there is a formation of embryo. Pteridophytes, they are commonly known as the vascular plants. They have these are the first plants wherein जिसमें देखा गया है vascular bundles, vascular tissue, xylem or phloem. First, non-flowering plants and or photosynthetic in nature. If we mention the various examples in the pteridophytes, various examples are there. Examples, number one is the examples Selaginella. This is the Selaginella. Lycopodium है, lycopodium. It is known as the commonly ground pine. इसको commonly कहा जाता है ground pine. आपको पता है pine is a coniferous. It look like as the lycopodium. Pteridophytes. Other examples are the horsetail, equiostem, equiostem, equiostem. It is known as the horsetail. ये आपने देखा होगा. It is very common to find. And then there is the marsilia. Then there is the mars. It is a common for marsilia. Marsilia is there. Azola. There is the azola. There is the adentum. Then is the dryopterus. This diopter. There is the pteris. There are the various examples including the pteridophytes. Pteridophytes is the जैसे कि वो दूसरा है pteridium. There are the various examples including the division pteridophytes, Selaginella, Lycopodium, commonly known as the ground pine, equiostem, horsetail, commonly known as marsilia. You have seen in the ponds, lakes, pteridium, azola, antendium, adentum, dryopterus, then the pteris. These are the there are also other examples. Dear students, it is the division pteridophytes in the 5 division classification of the pteridophytes. I hope you understand about the major characteristics features. I tell you about the furnace. Commonly the furnace includes, हम इनको एक common term कहते हैं furnace include in the pteridophyta. I will give you an idea of the pteridophyta. You have the seen that they इस फर्न में क्या होता है, इसमें एक राइजोबियम होता है, राइजोबियम, राइजोइड जिसको राइजोबियम, that bear a root here, root, they have the presence of root here so that it attach the किस लिए, ताकि जो सब ये जो इसका जो राइजोबियम पार्ट होता है ये अंडरग्राउंड, ये कंसिडर किया जाता है इसका अंडरग्राउंड सिस्टम. And there is the formation of, by this there is the formation of the sporophyte. First of all, there is a formation of protothallus. Protothallus. Then there is a, by the protothallus there is a formation of sporophyte. अभी मैंने कहा कि स्पोर फॉर्मेशन इसी में होते हैं. प्रोटोथैलस के बदौलत से ही एक स्पोरोफाइट पाया जाता है. तो यहाँ पे इस तरह का दे हैव स्पोरोफाइट जो होता है, इट बियर्स द लीव्स, दे हैव द लीव्स, the leaves are of many bladders, many in form. Leaves are in 1 or 2 or 3 in number in the leaves. They have the leaves. It is the simpler structure of the pteridophyta. They have the rhizobium part, underground system. They develop the root here, and from there is the formation of, by the support there is actually the formation of protothallus, and protothallus is known as the gametophyte. Gametophyte. And by this gametophyte there is, अभी मैंने नाम बताया कि gametophyte इसमें दो निकलते हैं, एक तो इसमें निकलता है, यहाँ पे अभी मैंने नाम दिया है, अभी जो इससे निकला वो एंथ्रेडियम मेल पार्ट, एंथ्रेडियम मेल पार्ट, मेल सेक्स ऑर्गन, और इसी से निकलता है अभी आर्चियोगोनियम जो पार्ट है, फीमेल पार्ट जो है, इसी से डेवलप होते हैं गेमेटोफाइट से. एंड इट इज कंसिडर्ड एज द considered protothallus actually gives the formation of gametophyte. Here is the formation of the sporophyte. As actually there is formation of the जो स्पोरोस बनते हैं वो इसी में बनते हैं. एंड देयर इज द लीव्स. स्पोरोफाइट का स्पोरोफाइट अगर हम देखेंगे उसमें सिस्टम पार्ट आता है, लीव्स पार्ट होता है, और लीव्स के पीछे स्पोरोस डेवलप होते हैं. आई विल शो यू हियर द डायग्राम ऑफ वन ऑफ द जो है, यहाँ पे देखिए, यहाँ पे एक डायग्राम दे देता हूँ. एक लीफ पार्ट होता है, इस तरह का लीफ पार्ट होता है. इसी लीफ पार्ट से एक मतलब प्रेजेंट निकल आता है, यहाँ पे एक लीफ पार्ट. इसी से यहाँ पे व्हाट इज दिस, इट एक्ट एज द, दिस लीफ पार्ट इट एक्ट एज द प्रोटोथैलस पार्ट. मतलब इसके पीछे यहाँ पे इसी से यहाँ पे एक स्पोरोफाइट निकलता है, एक स्पोरोफाइट निकलता है. स्पोरोफाइट जो निकलता है इसका ऐसे एक लीफ पार्ट होता है, और इसके लीफ पार्ट में ही मतलब पीछे साइड से क्या होता है, लीफ पार्ट होता है. इस लीफ पार्ट के पीछे से स्मॉल डॉट्स होते हैं. दे आर नेम एज द सोरे. तो दे बियर द स्पोर्स फॉर्मेशन इसी में होते हैं. इट इज द साइट ऑफ स्पोर फॉर्मेशन. व्हाट इज देन दिस लेटर ऑन इफ वी सी द स्ट्रक्चर, यहाँ पे एक रॉयजॉइड निकलता है, इसके प्रोटोथाइलस के रॉयजॉइड, वहाँ पे एक रूट हेयर निकलता है. बहुत सारे रूट हेयर्स निकल आते हैं, व्हाट इज दिस, इट इज द rhizoid part. तो what this here it is the, इसके पीछे जो होते हैं यहाँ असल में स्पोरोफाइट से ही यहाँ से यहाँ पे मैं अंदर जाके मैं इसको ऐसे दिखाता हूँ डॉट फॉर्म में. एक्चुअली यही बना, इसी स्पोरोफाइट से एक rhizoid पार्ट निकलता है. असल में इट इज एक्सटेंडेड हियर, असल में इसी का पार्ट. व्हाट इज दिस हियर द, इट इज द rhizoid it is the here the rhizoid इसी से निकलता है root here ये मैंने एग्जांपल दिया है ड्राइऑप्टेरस का डायोप्टेरस जो एक टेरिडोफाइट है वहां से ये देखो व्हाट इज दिस इज द सुपोरोफाइट दिस इज द सुपोरोफाइट में यहाँ देखिए सुपोरोस जो है they have the present what is this leaf part actually the whole leaf part ये जो है whole leaf part this whole leaf part is it is the protothymus and act as this protothymus later on proves that it is a gametophyte give us later on the formation of अगर हम इसके पीछे साइड से देखेंगे लीफ के पीछे साइड से देखेंगे they have the presence of male sex organs and female sex organs archeogonium female part then there is the male part and theridium they give the separate male sexes then there is a fusion gamete formation. Dear students, I hope you understand about the division third pteridophytes vascular bearing plants. I hope you understand. Thank you very much.